know who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob SquarePants. And and pours his something is he. SpongeBob SquarePants. If nautical nonsense be something you wish, SpongeBob SquarePants. Then hop on your deck and flop like a fish. SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. You know, SpongeBob lives in a pineapple under the sea. And I love SpongeBob. You know, SpongeBob has entertained me and he entertained my children, but the truth of SpongeBob is that he lives under the sea. But at one time he didn't. You know, SpongeBob is yellow because he went around in greed. And he had no mind about him. You know, he was given over to a reprobate mind. And, you know, the pineapple under the sea is, represents California. California, the future of California, and the future of those spirits who live in California. SpongeBob was a greedy human, okay, a being that, you know, lived on the coastline. He lived in a pineapple. You know, he was full of holes. Like he had, in his living form, he was just, he absorbed the world around him. And when you look into the true fourth dimension, when it looks as it's telling a story about who once was. Everything you see in the fourth dimension is just looking into the spirit world in one form or another. However, when you see colors, you're truly looking in to another world. You know, that's how you can tell that you're looking into the spirit world, is when you see colors. Because all will have their colors about them. Like yellow, if they have yellow in them, it's greed. They went around in greed. They walked around in greed. If they have yellow hair, that means they thought about nothing but greed. They were all about money, 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 money. There's gluttony. If you want to know why certain beings are the color they are in the spirit world, all you have to do is follow the rainbow. Because when we receive that rainbow, it is a promise, but it's a promise of our colors to come. That's the truth of it. I know it's the truth because I have that knowing of it. You know, there's two sides of the rainbow. There's a dark side of the rainbow, and then there's a light side of the rainbow. And the dark side of the rainbow, of course, deals with greed, gluttony, perversion, corruption. We all will wear our true colors on the other side. You know, just because, you know, we have the flesh as we go about in this world, when we get to the other side, we'll see our true colors shine through. I see your true colors, and I still love you. So don't be afraid to let this world go, because I know your true colors, and you'll be as bright as a beautiful rainbow. And that's what I say to all the spirits. I don't want their ghosts. I want to see their true colors and love them truly for who they are. However, I don't want them as my partner. I don't want to, even though I love them and I will, you know, I'll be for them, but I'll be for them in their true colors. You know, as for them, you know, the ghosts coming to me in human form, you know, trying to put out my fire, my desire fire. And I'm like, no, y'all aren't firemen. Y'all aren't my firemen. Y'all are not for me. You know, just because I love you doesn't mean y'all are for me. And that's what I tell the SpongeBobs and the Patricks of the world, and you know, the Garfields. You know, I love them so much. You know, I do. However, you can love another without promising yourself, vowing yourself, you know, giving yourself in marriage. You just have to love yourself for who you are. And you know, on the other side, there truly is friends, and there truly is love. There's peace, there's harmony, there's all these different characters, and they're all different colors and shapes and sizes because of their experience in this world. You know, this world, we're supposed to have our life experiences and experiment and go about, and you know, everything in this world, yes, we have our consequences. However, we will be who we are. You cannot cover up who you are. You cannot change who you are. You could, you know, this world, they put human skins on us because, you know, they wanted us to look all the same and serve and worship and praise and, you know, be a part of the system of being. However, underneath it all, we have our true colors, you know, and, you know, I don't know, but it seems like a long, long time ago, the colors started being, like, they just picked out a certain color. Like, honestly, if the true light hit the human skin, we would be red. I think we would be the colors of the rainbow. There is no such thing as white, because white is truly void of all colors, without blemish. You know, when it says that Jesus, you know, and other ones, you know, they said Jesus was perfect. He walked without blemish in this world. No, what he did was a being came down, put on skins, knew the hell what was going on, and walked accordingly to what he thought was a perfect walk. Because when he died, he thought he was going to be the ultimate sacrifice, and that backfired in his face. They came down into this world because they thought they were going to beat, I guess it's the game of life, I'm not for sure, but they thought they were going to win that crown. You know, who wears the highest crown? You know, who goes about in this world and is that perfect walker or whatever, wears the highest crown, takes the throne, and basically breaks the curse. You know, they take control over everything. You know, they have the creative control, they have the power, they have everything. I wear the highest crown, I sit on the highest throne, and that's what I say. You know, nobody can come against me or compete with me because I'm Wendy Dawn. That crown is mine because I've grown it, you know. And, you know, I'll speak truth out there. I encourage all to walk that golden line, you know, but you have to do it in truth and heart. You can't put on a show. You can't follow the rules or the guidelines or whatever. It has to be in your heart. You know, just because you break no law doesn't mean it's in your heart. It just means that you have disciplined yourself to break no law. However, that doesn't mean it's written in your heart to do so. Because there's a lot out there that are putting on a show, they're putting on a face, they're walking a walk of religion, but it's not in their heart to do so. They yearn to go outside of that box that they put themselves in, that goody two-shoes box. And, you know, they yearn to be a part of the world. They just don't because they're too afraid. They're too full of fear of what might happen next. And I say, be your true colors, because no matter what, if you're just walking a pretend walk or, you know, following a religion or certain guidelines, your colors are still going to be shown on the other side, because you're still greedy, you're still gluttonous, you're still blasphemous. You are all that is because it's in your heart. Now, you can abstain and reframe, you know, but if it's in your mind, your heart, your body, your spirit, your soul's not going to grow. So, you know, it's best just to go about in your true colors. You know, I have the ghost of an ex came to me, and he was sitting there talking about AA and whatever like that. Look, those people that go to AA, it is still in their heart to be drinkers and stinkers, you know, and once they go to AA, they blame the alcohol or the drug or whatever for their behaviors and habits, but that's not the truth. Even if there was no alcohol or whatever, they would use something else to make excuses of why they did what they did in the first fucking place. And then they put away alcohol even though they don't want to put alcohol. That's why they got to be fucking babysitted. You know, that's why they got to make excuses. And I say, you know, if you don't want to drink like a gluttonous dog, then you will stop drinking like a gluttonous dog. If it's truly in your heart to clean up your body, your mind, your spirit, you know, to grow in soul, then so shall you do such. You don't need churches. You don't need politics. You don't need a fucking babysitter over you. And that's what I feel like my role in this world has been, is to be a fucking babysitter to men, or to, you know, to keep them. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to fucking keep them because it's in their heart. You know, it's like running after undisciplined children that have no love, no appreciation, no nothing. You know, they're little bastard children because their father and mother don't want to have anything to do with them. And I was, you know, I feel like I was put here to watch over them so they'll grow a proper way. However, they don't listen. And I say this to all out there, you know, you can't change what is in the heart, the mind, the spirit, the, you know, of the body. You can't change that until that individual, that heart, that mind, that body, that spirit, until that soul wants to grow. And if they never want to grow, then they'll always be SpongeBob's. They'll always be Patrick's. There'll always be Garfield's. You cannot force another to be something they are not. You can threaten them with jail. You can do this. This is why our prisons are fucking full of people. Because even the threat of being locked away in a box for the rest of their life does not stop them from being murderous, from being thieves, from being, you know, whatever they're doing. It doesn't stop them because it's in their heart to do so. And when you sit there and try to bring that judgment and condemnation upon them, so will you receive it back. That's why I'm like, go do whatever the fuck you want and let it run its course. That's why I speak my truth. Because it's all I can do, because I don't want to be in hell or chained down to it. I'm not in judgment or condemnation of other people. I don't give a fuck what they're doing. And that's truly, I don't give a fuck. I say, have at it. Because you can't stop it. They are who they are. And they will always be. Izzy is deciding to be her little ferret self. She's a little demon. She's a little spirit covered in the flesh. She is, you know, just the animal kingdom. What was given over to a reprobate mind, you know. She's part of the weasel family, little vicious. They went around, weasel family, they eat everything. Man, I was reading up on her family line, and they are vicious, aren't you? You know, the weasel, and they can take down a fucking bear if they get together. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I love Izzy, though. Just the way she is. Even though she's into everything. And I ain't trying to train her to be something, you know, she's not. A lot of people get dogs or cats, and they try to train them and, you know, repeat tasks over and over again so they learn how to do it. And that's wrong. You know, I don't know. I don't want to do that. But Izzy gets an itch that she wants to go, and I understand that because she's everywhere, and she fits my personality. I can take down a fucking bear. I can. I'm not scared of any at all. So, it is what it is. But Izzy's family, she's my family because I love her. Just for who she is. And I'm not going to try to train her to be any different. And, you know, I tell those out there, all out there, you can't train the spirits to be something other than not. Yeah, you can get them to do tasks over and over again and go against their nature. But you know what happens when you try to get the spirits to go against their nature and be something they're not? You're going to get a world that's going to fucking blow up because they're divided inside themselves. They're divided outside themselves. And all that does is that energy builds and builds and builds and builds and builds until it fucking explodes. And that's what it is. So let the SpongeBobs of the world be who they're self. Let the Patricks be who they are. Let others just be who they are. Because honestly, when they go around murdering, they're murdering themselves. Y'all do not see the bigger picture of the spirits. And basically, they're just going out and destroying what is in a curse right now. That's in a prison that was put there in order to make them conform to be something they're not. When it says a long time ago that a God made us in his image, that means he covered us in flesh so we would look just like him or her, whoever, you know, and tried to train us to serve and praise and try to be God over us. It's time to fucking stop that because it's time to give it up. Dying in the flesh is not a bad thing. It's a release from our curse. And I'm ready for it. Yes, it's a little scary, but at the same time, I am ready. This body is like an egg, a suitcase, whatever. Eventually, it will crack open. Y'all need to stop putting so much emphasis on the flesh. You know, instead of celebrating a birth, you know, we're supposed to, you know, be in solemn for the simple fact is another being was birthed in the flesh and is in a curse, is in an egg. You know, they're being imprisoned. And this is not saying don't go and kill yourself because, you know, you are one with your flesh. So you love yourself until it's time to separate from it. You know, I'm not going to speak against a drunkard. I'm just going to say, you know, you need to keep your body, your temple, the best you can. You know, you need to be of sober mind so you can be aware of what the hell's going on around you. You know, when people are drunk, they're stupid. You know, they're not growing in mind. They're just literally pickling their fucking brain. You know, and having the human form is a second chance at life. It is a second chance to grow a mind, body, heart, spirit. But you can't sit on the sidelines. You can't put yourself in a box of religion because you still won't grow. You know, the only people that are going to receive hell and death are those ones that put themselves in hell. Literally, our actions and the actions of those that share the world around us will turn the world into hell. You know, no matter what, we are going to have to go through this. Even if we just sit there and come into a hell state, we will suffer that hell state in the flesh until we perish. So basically what will happen is the spirits will keep on being born. They'll go through a quick hell state and grow however they grow, and then they'll be spit back, you know, into the spirit. And it'll just keep on happening. No matter what, life always finds a way to be. Just like in Mars, you see those little bitty fucking they found life on different planets. They're just in a hell state, and they can't grow past that, but they still go in that. They still, you know, are born into that. They live a certain way, and then they're spit back into the spirit. And that's what it is. And I say to all out there, all spirits, all demons, all devils, all darkness, it will be as it is in other worlds, because this world is just a reflection of what happened in other worlds. We fell from them, and all must run its course, you know, and soon, of course, the new worlds will come into be. You know, everything will be reborn. The cycle will close out, and, you know, a new beginning will come. There's no reason to walk in fear in this world. And that's just the truth. Okay? I'm afraid of a lot of things. Like, I try to stay away from chemicals and stuff. A lot of it's because it's fear, because I don't want to strike my body. You know, it's not because I lust after life, but it's because I don't want to suffer in body. I don't like suffering. I don't like pain. So I do my best to avoid such. You know, when I was younger, I drank, I experimented, I do the things that I did, but the reason why I stopped doing them is because I didn't like how that affected my body. I was afraid. And, you know, and I didn't like the effects. You know, some people like the effects of alcohol. They're numb to it. So I can't preach against them and tell them to, you know, not do it, because I would do it if I could. It's just my body rejects it. My mind rejects it. My heart rejects it. Like, I completely reject it. And I'm like, well, fuck. You know, and it's not like I want to do it. It's just I reject it. And that's because the spirit about me is in tune with the flesh. And even though the flesh wants something, my spirit rejects it. My soul has grown that it rejects it. It puts it away. Even though my flesh is weak and I want to do certain things, I reject it because I've grown past my flesh. Like, my flesh is no longer in control. So my soul is, my spirit is. So even if I wanted to do something in the flesh, I reject it. And sometimes it pisses me off because I'm like, so there's a lot of things that my spirit and my soul reject that I would probably still be participating in if it wasn't for the effects it had on my body. And I'll say that right now, and I say it in humility. My flesh is my flesh. You know, I still get weakness. I still want sexual experiences. However, I've grown in spirit and soul that it says, no, if it's not love, that's what my heart says. If it's not love, then I don't want to participate in it. So that's what it is. When you grow in mind, heart, spirit, soul, when you grow past the flesh, that which is inside of you, when you try to do it, rejects all that. You just grow past it. You don't want it anymore. So, you know, sitting there saying you go to AAA or whatever, you know, put whatever drug away to seem good, all you are is trying to see good in man's understanding of what is good. Like I said, nothing you can do in this world is good or evil. It's just when you drink, you're just striking your flesh. And you will do so until you grow in mind, body, heart, spirit, soul, and then that'll reject it. Like, the flesh no longer has control over you. So, yay! You know, and that's what I said to the ghost, because you know, there's ghosts that come to me and say, well, they refrain from this, refrain from that, and I was like, all you are is more self-discipline, but it's not in your heart, and your spirit doesn't reject it. It's just you force yourself to do something you don't want to do to seem better. And I'll say this now, most men, you know, put on a show of putting something away for a woman so they can stay in a relationship, you know, which, you know, whatever. It's not love for themselves. It's not love for her. It's just they are too afraid to move on, so they put that vice away. That doesn't make them any better. I've learned that people who have vices, habits, experiences that go against, you know, the person they want to be with is, well, they don't want to, and they always pick up something else bad habit. And, you know, either that woman or that man's going to be pissed off because they're still not going to give that heart to them. It'll just go to somewhere else. Like, men and women are always bitching about their partner because their partner is always distracted with something else. You know, and they're like, well, they don't want to spend time with me and blah, blah, blah. Well, because they don't fucking like you. And they don't love you. They're just with you because they want a relationship out of loneliness or necessity, convenience. You know, if someone doesn't love you, then no, they don't want to be around you. There's no sense in bitching about it. And all you are is trying to force a relationship, a marriage. Walk the fuck out of it, y'all morons. I do. I did. You know, and I stopped bitching about it. I was like, you know what? They didn't want me. They didn't love me. They just wanted me to be with them, but they didn't really want me to be with them. They liked what I had to offer. You know, they either liked my loving, my cooking. You know, I've been told I'm the full package when it comes to being a woman. And I'm like, well, and it's not like I, you know, try to be. It's just who I am. They want me for who I am, but that doesn't mean they love me, because they're always running off to do something else or be with someone else because they just want me because I'm that full package as a woman. And you know, women will do the same. They want that man because he's a full package. You know, he holds that job and blah blah blah. And I'm not throwing stones at them because I used to walk that walk. You know, I used to look at men and objectify them and say, well, he has, you know, good paying job. He doesn't drink or smoke and blah blah. He met my list, you know, that I had. Now I don't have a list. I want love by my side. You know, of course there's certain habits that he can't have around me, like smoking, drinking, and whatever. Smoking, I can't be around smoke. But anyways, I gotta go. Bye.